Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, I rise today to express some concerns about the impact certain budget actions will have on K-12 education in Virginia, particularly in our urban areas. Last year, when I expressed my concerns, the Appropriations Committee heard me, the budget conferees heard me. I thank you for that, and hopefully you're listening again today. My primary concern is with the governor's announced taking a portion of the sales tax from Northern Virginia and Hampton Roads to pay for transportation projects in those areas. And I just would like to highlight a couple of things that some of our editorial pages have said, which ring pretty true in the city of Richmond. What McDonnell has proposed, this is from the Danville Register and B. What Governor McDonnell is proposing is a first step towards a future that none of us wants, a future when the economic engines of Northern Virginia and Hampton Roads are disconnected from the rest of Virginia. This is a philosophical shift in how state dollars are spent that cannot be allowed to take root. If it does, we could well look back on 2011 as the year when the well-off areas of our state stopped working on behalf of all Virginia and were allowed to care for their own needs first and foremost. While there is a lot in the governor's plan that deserves consideration, this sales tax proposal has put the traditional political relationship between all Virginians on the edge of a slippery slope. It's time to pull back from that edge and find another way to get Northern Virginia and Hampton Roads moving again. From the Roanoke Times, you can't borrow from Peter to pay Paul when Peter's already broke. There is no money for transportation in the general fund. McDonnell's plan to divert 0.25% of the discretionary sales tax income generated in those regions would siphon $140 million a year from the general fund. Now, here's part of my concern. We're piling on. When you add this proposal to the proposal to eliminate the LCI hold harmless provision that we adopted last year, when you add that to the local cost portion of the 2% VRS increase, when you add that to last year's budget reduction of HB 599 funds, you add that to last year's reduction to aid to localities, our localities are going to be hamstrung to fund, in particular, K-12 education, but the rest of their needs, at a time when we've got a bill that's probably going to pass today telling them how to spend their already dwindling money. What does this mean for the city of Richmond? For the city of Richmond to make up what it's going to lose in state funding, it will have to raise the real estate tax 6.6 cents. So here's what we're doing. If we're going to fully fund the needs of these localities, we are passing the buck to the localities and forcing them to raise taxes. Because some of us here are not willing to seriously consider whether we need to do that at the state level. And in doing so, we're going to leave some of our areas behind. And I hope that the Appropriations Committee will think long and hard about not just the proposal to take a piece of the sales tax to fund transportation in Northern Virginia and Hampton Roads. Oh, and I forgot to add in our piling on how we're going to pay back the bonds that we're going to issue to pay for transportation now. That's probably going to come from general fund money in the future. Think about the totality of all of these proposals and the impact it's going to have on not only our urban cities, but our rural areas, Hampton Roads. And I understand that every delegate will receive information on what that impact to their locality would be. I asked the Appropriations Committee to think about what this is going to mean for our localities and our students in the future. Thank you.